Hey everybody, it's Samantha from Samantha's Designs. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Today I'm going to do something that would be something I used to do all the time, and I wanted to do again just because I enjoyed it so much. This is also something maybe a beginner stamper would want to do to help push themselves or get their creative juices flowing. I'm going to actually work on a card sketch that I found on a current challenge blog, and then I'm also going to enter the card at the end to another challenge blog as well, and I'm going to show you that in just a little bit. But the reason I said this is really for a beginner stamper, for a beginner's stamper, is because I can't talk sometimes, sorry y'all. So the reason I say it would be good for a beginner's stamper is because it is a CAS challenge, which means clean and simple. So the card ends up being clean and simple with a lot of white space. So if you are a beginner stamper, you don't have a lot of supplies, this might be a challenge or a card sketch that would work for you. So just to let you know what I'm going to be working with, I have my cardstock here. This is going to be my card base. I have a die, a snowflake die out of my stash. I have two Recollections stamp sets. This one I picked up I think last year, and I'm going to use the sentiment out of this, the warmest wishes. And then from this Recollections that is beat up, and I've used it quite a bit. It won't even go back in the package. The package is kind of crumbled. But anyway, it's an older one. I've probably had this for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, maybe. So just remember, use your stash. You don't have to buy new stamps just to make cool cards. Just a hint. I'm going to use these 3 snowflake stamps, along with this die to make this clean and simple card. So let me take you over to my computer so I can show you what challenges we're entering these into and what the plan is for today. All right, here we go. All right, guys, here we go. So there are 2 challenge blogs. I'm going to be entering this card, the outcome of this card, to. This is the first one. This is the CAS Colors and Sketches. This is a clean and simple, which is what CAS stands for, style card. If you ever have never done a blog or a challenge like this, you would find blogs that are offering challenges. Some of them are sketch challenges. There's all kinds of challenges out there. But this one I liked because I really liked this sketch. It's very simple, and it will go through what the challenge rules are, usually on the blog, so you can go read that if you wish to. And then they have design team members who then give you samples of how you could use the sketch. Now, even though this is not white, it still has a lot of what's called white background. So there's not a lot of busyness, pattern, etc. in the background. This is probably the person who came up with the sketch, I'm assuming, just because it is exactly as the sketch pointed out. And there you go. So that's from the design team. And then when you're done, you load in your card, which I will be doing, of course. We got 4 more days to get this done, and it'll be there. Some challenge blogs also offer goodies if you are the person who is picked who did the best job or whatever. This one does not. So for me, this is just for fun. The second one that I'm going to enter into is the Sweet Stampers Challenge blog. This is number 50 for them. It came out on the 10th of November. And this was in German. I had my Google translate it for me. So this is a German blog. But they tell you a little bit. We have until December 18th to do something that is Christmas related. And I'm not sure mine is going to be Christmas necessarily. But I think it'll be fine. I don't think that it'll probably sneak through, I guess is what I'm going to say. But I'm going to put it on this blog. And again, they give you some different design team entries for you to look through for inspiration. And it's only built around Christmas. So it's any kind of Christmas card is what you could look. And it does have one other thing. You have until December 8th to show us your work. I will use a stamp or a digi stamp. So when they say digi, they mean a digi stamp. So that's why I'm going to use the snowflake stamps that I have. My original thought was I was going to use completely just dies. But when I saw this one, and I've never been on this, put anything on this challenge block before, I was like, okay, well, I'm sure I got snowflake stamps. And let me tell you, I had to hunt. I didn't have that many. So I was glad I found the 3 that I found. And then again, you would link yours at the bottom. They have quite a few. They've got 4 pages worth. If you want to go look at other people, what they're doing, what kind of cards they're making, these kind of things are a great way to do that. Okay, I've shown you all of the good stuff here. Let's get back to making a card. Okay, guys, I'm back. So I cut out 3 of the snowflakes. Now this is a very intricate snowflake. I wish I had something. See, I don't know if you can see that a little better. That, yeah, it's something. But anyway, I'll cut out 3 because I'm going to stack them. But these are actually the insides, which I like as well, because you could layer these, like offset them a little bit. If I can get these to do what I want them to do, like that, and make a different snowflake. So I'm keeping the insides for something else maybe. I'm going to use my Elmer's Craft Bond, and I'm going to very, very carefully, and maybe I'm hoping too much for myself here, but I'm going to try to get these to all go together. Just put little dots of glue along the ends and the inside as best I can. Yeah, this had a lot of pieces to kind of break away, and I didn't want to tear them because they're, you know, a little delicate, of course. Okay, so let's get another one of these. Oh my goodness. And I feel like I'm gonna tear them constantly. Okay, let's see if we can get these things to kind of go together like they should. I don't know, this is tough. I think this is probably the most intricate die I've ever tried to stack. So it's good definitely to have the wet glue, because you're gonna have to have the wiggle time, and it is just really hard. That piece is still in there, but that's okay. We'll come back and get that later. And in the middle of the video, I'm getting texts. That is typical, I guess, for me. Okay, it's sort of coming together now. I'm feeling better. I feel like I got, okay. But the nice thing about layering this one, especially because it is so delicate, is it'll give it a little bit more stability, which I think is going to be needed for this particular die, because it is just, like I said, it is intricate. All right. This little area is being a bit of a pain. I'm going to try to put a few more dots of glue. I'm sorry, my guys, my phone's over here sounds like it's blowing up, but it's gonna have to wait a second because I'm working on this snowflake, daggone it. Okay, let me hit pause, and I'm gonna layer on the third. I'll be back when that's done. Okay, I've got this put together as best I can. Gonna put something heavy on top of it and let it dry, and we're gonna keep on with the card. Okay, I'm taking my card base, which is 11 inches long by 4 1/4, scoring it right down the middle at 5 1/2. That is going to make my card base. And regardless of how I do this, I never feel like I get that completely even when I score. What is that? And I wasn't even close. So I'm going to burnish that, and that's going to be the card base while the snowflake continues to dry. I also cut out another piece of card stock that is 4 by 5 1/4. That's going to frame it. I want a little bit of a frame. I know this is clean and simple, but I'm going to step it up a little bit, and I'm going to use some washi tape to make it look like there's pattern. It's on patterned paper, basically. That's all I'm going to do. And I think I'm only going to do the top and bottom, make sure I like that before I do anything else, because this is striped. If I was going to use it completely on every side, I'm going to have to cover the whole thing. And I don't know that I want to do that. So let's just see if I like this first. Okay. And am I going to like that? I think I'm good with that. I think I'm good with that. So, what I'm gonna do is then just take my scissors and cut off the excess. Just like that. Typically, if this was on a on just a layer, I would just flip this to the back. But since this isn't the actual card base, I'm just going to cut it off. Again, I really do think this is a card for a beginner stamper, or card maker, I should say. Because it's pretty simple. It doesn't take a lot of supplies. If you have some snowflakes or whatever you want to use it, you could kind of use whatever you suit your fancy. And I might even pop that up just for a little bit of dimension. I really enjoy that. I do, but this needs to come down. Seems like this is crooked somehow, but it's not. Okay, yeah, I'm good with that. All right, so now let's do some stamping. The other great part about this is again, for beginner stamper, this does not require a stamping platform. This is really simple stamping of some snowflakes. So, not even a big deal at all. I just need one of my blocks. Let me find one. Okay, I'm going to use some Memento in Summer Sky. And I'm just going to put these on my block. And we're going to do like one towards the top. Perfect. And I'm going to stagger these. I'm not going to put them straight in a line like the sketch kind of made look like was good, the sketch, I think they're all pretty much in line. I'm not going to do that. Here's the littlest snowflake, and I'm going to put that right there. So totally simple, not hard. Again, and I have some light streaming through here, but if you can see the stamping, it is just for snowflakes. Not a big deal. All right, let's work a little bit more on our big snowflake, see if it's dry, because I'm going to add a little bit of shimmer to it. Okay, I'm back. So what I'm going to do with my die cut, I got a little scrap piece of paper here. I'm going to use some Versamark ink. And I have some Nouveau embossing powder that's sparkly. It's called Shimmer Pearl. That someone gifted me, and I've already used some of this. I really like it. I can tell I need some glitter. I need glitter embossing powder in my life, obviously, because I've used this already a few times as I've gotten it. Okay, so I'm gonna use my hands because I want to use my paper to put the embossing powder on, and I'm just taking it and pressing my snowflake into the Versamark ink. This is a sticky ink. It's great for embossing. This is what got me started stamping and making cards. It was embossing powder. Watching embossing powder in silver and gold, or even this shimmer, is it's very, very fun to watch, and I just found it fascinating. So that's kind of what started my journey into scrapbooking. I've always done a lot of different kind of crafts in my lifetime, but yeah, seeing embossing powder melt got me hooked. I was like, that's cool, and I've got to do that again. And yeah, so I love paper crafts ever since then. That's been a lot of time ago, people. A lot of time ago. Alright, so let me get this. I'm going to get my heat gun nice and warm before I bring it to the project. I'm going to use my reverse tweezers and hope I don't make a huge mess, which is asking a lot, I know. Okay. And you'll know that it's done when it starts changing colors. It melts. It just looks melted, and you can tell. I don't know how to explain it to you until you try it and do it. If you're a beginner, you do not have to do this. This is just something I thought would look really cute on this card. Alright, I'm going to pick it up. And again, this snowflake is really very intricate and a little bit on the flimsy side, so I'm just trying to make sure I've got everything melted decently well. Because I don't want anything coming off later. Okay. Alright, I think, oh, we're good. Let that cool off just a minute. Make sure this kind of lays pretty flat. But that is so pretty. I don't know that you can tell on camera, but it just adds a little sparkle and shine. It looks really nice. Alright, now I gotta get the rest of this embossing powder off. Okay, so now it's time for assembly. So, and we're gonna do our sentiment and add that. So here is our card. I am gonna pop these up using some foam adhesive. I just think it'll add a little bit more interest to the card to do that. These I get from Dollar Tree. These foam dots. They're not any specific brand. Their crafter section in the Dollar Tree has definitely stepped up their game. They're doing a great job with things. I've been very impressed. So that's good. I get to use that little last bit up on this card. And let's see if we can get the release paper off of these things, which is not always as easy as you would think it would be. Hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. It's going to be time to start, if you've not already started, working on any gifts that you're going to be making yourself. Get things wrapped up, decorations up. I still don't have my decorations up. And I don't know when they're going to get up. I'm just going to be honest. It's been a rough year for everybody. Not just me in my family, but I know everyone. There we go. There we go. It's coming together. I like that. Alright, so now we're going to put the snowflake is going to be center stage on this card. And I'm going to have to add some little rhinestones too. I'm not going to be able to stand it. I can already tell. Okay, so we're going to add glue to the back of this, just like we did when we put the layers together. I'm just trying to make sure to hit like all the main points because I want the ends to stick. I want the middle part to stick down. I don't want any. The nice thing about this Crafter's bond is it really does stick very well once it's set and everything's dried. Okay. So I'm gonna use my tweezers again. Oh, well. I think I'm going to use my tweezers. There we go. And we're going to set this down just right in the middle. Again, something heavy on top. I'm going to move that to the side. And then I'm going to work on the sentiment, which is coming from that other set I showed you earlier, which has some really cool stuff. I'm just going to be using Warmest Wishes from that. This is a silicone set where the snowflakes were foam. This is just regular silicone, not red rubber. Okay. Alrighty, let's do this. Am I going to do it in the same blue because that's going to be pretty light, or do I want to just be bold and do black? Or I could do navy because of the washi. I think I'm going to get a navy color or a darker blue. Hold on one second. From the Memento family, I did pick out Paris Dusk. And this is a brand new stamp. I've not used it. So I'm just going to rub my finger over it to kind of condition the stamp so it'll stamp a little better. And I'm going to ink this thing up. And I'm going to cut this down, so I'm just going to put this in the bottom corner. And it stamped wonderfully well. I kind of like that. I like the, it's not a solid sentiment. I kind of like that. Warmest Wishes. All right, let's see if we can't cut this down a little bit. Because I think I'm going to pop this up over the snowflake. And that's about... Okay. Now, typically, again, I don't do clean and simple cards very much anymore, so typically I would probably mat this, but because we're trying to keep it pretty simple with very little layers, I'm going to put this right on this. And am I going to use, what am I going to use? I think I'm just going to use some score tape for this. Make sure it stays, because I want it to adhere to that sparkle embossing powder that I already have on that snowflake, and I don't want it to come up. I burnish score tape down before I try to take off the backer, just to make sure it's gonna stick or stay, I should say. Okay, so there's that. Because I'm not used to doing clean and simple, I'm really having a hard time with all this white space. I wasn't expecting to have that much issue with that, but I think I'm gonna put a few little jimmies down because I just feel like it needs it. That's why. So let's get out 3 of those bad boys. These are from I don't know where these are from. Actually, these were given to me. I forgot. I didn't pick these up. I was going to say they're from AliExpress, but I don't know that because I don't know where she got them from. My friend who is was trying to bling some stuff, is how she put it. So I just wanted to bling some things. So I bought these and thought you would like them. And I was like, oh yeah, I could use those. I could use those a lot. And I have been. I've been using them a lot on my stamping cards and things. So I'm just going to put a few gems. I follow the rule of thirds. I typically put odd numbers of gems on my card just because most of the design people, like Kathy Zelski and stuff, will tell you it just seems to work for card making and designs to keep things in odd numbers. So there's my card, and I'm sorry for the sunshine that has decided it's going to come through. I don't know if that helps or not. But there you go. Here's my card, clean and simple. I will be loading this into those two sites that I was showing you, and I love how it turned out. If you're a beginner stamper and you want to see more things like this, where you can just use a few supplies to make really cute cards, just let me know. I'll be glad to do a few more of these for you. All right, have a great day, everybody. See you next time.